All right, and we are live with Monika. So how did you get
Mhm.
started with this digital nomad life?
So I think it started way back. The route of travel was always there in me, even when I was a kid, because I was raised in different countries and I was
Hmm.
just born in India. But then my parents always took me around and we kept walking so much and like traveling so much. But societal pressures hit me and I had to get into MBA and graduation and job and work and all of that happened. But then
Hmm.
when COVID hit, which was like 2 years back, uh, I was working for an investment banking firm full time, something that I never wanted to do. And I always knew that I never wanted to do it. But then I had to because I had to earn money and I needed like a social status. All of that happened. But then when COVID hit, my company was forced to go remote. So
Hmm.
when they said, "Oh, you can work from anywhere, but it just has to be in India." So I was like, "Okay, great. Why don't I shift somewhere else and then I work from there?" So I shifted to the mountains of India and I spent a lot of time in the Himalayas. I picked up adventure sports along with my work because I was able to do it. So I learned, snowboarding. I became a paragliding pilot. I learned surfing. So all of those things like happened together and I was still working with it. So it suddenly struck me that, oh my God, like I can do this. And, why haven't I thought about this? And it kind of just restricted me because of the kind of work that I was doing that I wasn't able to take this full time. And then when I realized that, so I also have a blog, and
Hmm.
I started posting pictures, started writing about it, and people started appreciating it. And when all of this collectively happened, I said, I I think I can do this. And it
Hmm.
kind of like just validated. It was like a beta testing phase where it seemed like it's going to happen. And then that's when I quit. So I quit like 7 months back. And since then I'm
Hmm.
working remotely from different countries, different parts of the world. And it's been great.
Oh, that's awesome. That's great. So, wow. So your company went remote, and then did they ask you to come back to the office? Is that why you ended up quitting being an investment
Uh,
banker?
they were going to ask me to eventually. I knew that. But they weren't going fully remote when I quit. But now they're like fully functioning. So even if I would have been there, I would still be working into an office. So I
Oh,
maybe I
nice.
just quit a little before,
Hmm.
because I kind of realized that one. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So what's your main source of income now? Is it like blogging or?
So I freelance for a lot of international clients. So I offer content
Mhm.
creation services, and like to build a whole machine around it on how you can automate content, social media strategies. So like it can really vary on the dynamics on what I can offer, and I can cater to a client differently. So I like that scope of work that I have. But yeah, freelancing would be like my main income. And then, brand deals from Instagram or, any other blogs that I write through or any other projects that I pick up. Those are like separate. But those, I mean, that wouldn't be counted as like the main income. Those are like side hustles popping in between, which is
Mhm.
nice to have. Yeah.
Okay, so it's kind of like coaching, doing coaching.
Um, it's a mix of I do plan to launch my digital nomad course and it'll be up soon, hopefully, within
Nice.
the next month. So it's not coaching as such, but I also offer my content to international clients because they're looking, some clients or some applications are looking for content from different places. And I've been to those places, so then I monetize that content that way. So
Okay,
it can be a
I
mix
see.
of both. Yeah.
Okay, and then And you're also a paragliding instructor. Is that something you're currently doing?
Yeah, I wish I
That's
can go back more to flying. I'm a
okay.
paragliding pilot, not an instructor. I wish I could
Okay.
be an instructor. But yeah, I learned how to paraglide last year on my birthday, and it was a wonderful experience. I met a lot of the community that I never knew even existed in India. And it was really cool to like, work and fly at the same time and just meet people who came together just for flying. And it was a different arena altogether. But yeah, I do intend to like go back and fly every now and then. So like you can fly in different parts of Southeast Asia as well.
Hmm.
Although you do need a glider. Sometimes you can rent a glider and then fly. So I intend on doing that more. Yeah. But took a little
Okay.
few flights, but yeah.
Right, yeah, that's great for a digital nomad to be able to
Yeah.
travel anywhere and do that. That's cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so you're from India. So what's sort of the perception of digital nomads in India? It seems like a lot of nomads are from like Europe or the US, but I haven't met so many from India.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think even people know what a digital nomad is in India. There is very few number of people who actually understand the concept of it. And I wouldn't blame them because like nomadism is like just so broad as a lifestyle, as the number of options that you can like, careers you can choose on this, the kind of work that you can do on this. So it's really broad and I don't think everybody understands it. And it's true, like, a lot of nomads actually come from Europe and US, and India is, and Asia as a whole is just fairly new as a community. So a lot of people like end up going to Bali for no, like, becoming a digital nomad, or like they just
Hmm.
settle in Bali. Uh, But not a lot of people come to India. And
Mm,
that's where I come in, and I'm trying to change the picture uh, of, saying that, okay, you can do this as a normal career path, or like, it's okay to do this. And I'm trying to educate through my blog or through my social media channels that it's
mm.
possible. So, yeah.
Okay, really
I
cool.
think a lot of youth in India does want to do it, but they don't understand it. Honestly, I didn't understand it for a long period of time. I just knew that I was working remotely, but I didn't know the term digital nomad, or like, what nomadism is. Um, but then when I started reading about it, I said, I think I'm also one. And it kind of like went back to like, just defining on what I'm doing. It like just giving a word to it. And a lot of youth of India actually wants to do it, but they just don't understand on, where to start, or how to name it, or how to like explain it to their parents
Mm.
on what they're trying to do. Yeah.
Right, right. It's not exactly a normal thing to do yet. So, cool.
Yeah.
So what are kind of some of your tips for people who are interested in getting started to be a digital nomad? Or are there any career paths you recommend or
I think I would still stick to, like, I know that a lot of nomads are like engineers, and yeah, they do a lot of IT stuff and website designing, graphic designing, but it may not be for everybody. Like I don't do it. I don't
Hmm?
understand anything about website designing. And that's why I chose a path that I like. And hence I'm able to maintain a balance on enjoying my travel and also enjoying my work. Um, and I feel like anybody can build a business out of anything that they're passionate about. So when I was starting to think that I want to, build a course on this, I was like, who's going to buy it? Nobody is going to like buy a course like that. But then I came to know that, there are a lot of courses on nomadism, and there are a lot of courses on gardening, or there are a lot of courses on fitness, on cooking, and people buy those courses. So you can
Hmm.
always consult, you can always build a business around what you really are passionate about. um, and the only task here is that you need to shift your income stream online, which is still a possibility. So I don't know if I would really recommend that, okay, this career is for you or this career is for you. I think that you should take ahead what you really want. So I met a girl in Himachal, like some small village of India, and she said, I have a tofu making business. So I was like, wow, how does that work? So she's like, I need to just make some calls, in the
Yeah.
morning to the milk vendors of like some part of India. And I'm done like by like, in 2, 3 hours in the morning, because all the milk vendors would come in the morning. And then she's created a distribution channel where it just goes around and she doesn't really need to be there. So she's
Hmm.
traveling. So I'm like, wow, okay, that's yeah, I want to make like I want to become you know into
Yeah.
a tofu making business, but
Tofu
it
making.
just
That's
seems so,
interesting.
yeah, yeah, it sounded so simple. And I was like, okay, things are possible, and you just really need to want to do it that way.
Hmm. Right. Yeah. It seems like it rewards the people who are like the most creative and outside of the box thinking. Seems seems like they can get a lot of success as a digital nomad. But
Yeah, that's true.
yeah. But yeah, that's cool. So yeah, I guess that goes for everything. You have to find something you're really interested in and then find a way
Hmm.
to make a career out of that. So
Yeah.
nice. So what have been some of the challenges you've faced, transitioning into remote work?
I would say it was definitely keeping in touch with my family or my partner. And it, there's a point when um, a loneliness might hit you, but you just need to
Hmm.
like tackle it in the right way. And I think it's a very common thing for digital nomads, because there was a period of time when I didn't have anybody consistent, like, somebody who's like constantly with me for like 2, 3 months. And I just felt like I was
Mm,
changing the number of people that I was talking to every day. And it just like every day there was somebody new, although that was exciting. But then the period of time that it went on was kind of exhausting. And I was like, okay, I really need to go back, take a break, connect with all of those people, and then come back again. So I hopped back and forth. And it was a choice that I made because I wanted to feel okay. Uh, and that's okay, I think, because a lot of people like connect digital nomads to just constantly traveling full time. So like I'm based in Singapore since like the past 3 months, and I haven't hopped around from the past 3 months a lot. And that's
mm,
okay. That's still you can live slowly after being a digital nomad as well. You don't need to like constantly hop around. And it's okay like to like, soak in the culture of a place and then move out. But then there was a point where I was traveling too fast to take all of it in. So I was reading a study the other day, and they said like the average days of vacation is 9. It's just 9. And
mm,
that's when the sense of satisfaction actually sinks in on the eighth day, that yeah, you've actually done something, or like you've experienced something. But then when it gets elongated, like to up to like 2 weeks or 3 weeks, it hampers your routine, or it hampers your schedule. And
mhm,
that's when you kind of get a little dissatisfied on what is happening. So
mm,
I, as a digital nomad, need to like maintain the balance between both, because I know I'm not coming back for like a long time now. and it still does not have to like disrupt my life entirely. So I felt like striking a balance between both of it and still staying connected to the people I love was really tricky. And
Hmm.
I was doing well financially, but I know a lot of digital nomads also face this challenge of like consistently having streams of income. But for me, it was definitely this when I was like, oh God, I really miss the people I love, and I need to go see them. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, definitely the finding that balance can be
yeah.
a real challenge. Nice. So, where did you do like the digital nomad life? Were you mostly like near India, or did you go all over the world?
No, I'm fairly new to this, and I would consider myself really new to this. It's been like 6 months, so I've been
Mhm.
in and around Southeast Asia, a lot. So India, some part of it in India, then Singapore, Thailand, Indonesia, Vietnam. And I'm hoping that the other Southeast Asian countries also should tick off before I go to the western part of the world.
Hmm.
And yeah, so just been Southeast Asia for now. It's cheap, it's easy to travel to, it's accessible, and I also understand a lot of it. So it's just good to start off with for sure.
Right, definitely. And then, how's Singapore? I've been there once, and I found it pretty expensive for digital nomads. So
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's expensive.
I
Okay.
would agree. I would agree to that. It is definitely expensive. It is an expensive country to live in for sure. Um, so I think my major expense goes into accommodation or like renting a co-living space or just being out of like a co-living space. But then it seemed like a fair choice for me because my partner is here, and that's why like Singapore became like a
Hmm.
kind of base that came back to. Um, yeah, but if it's really for digital nomads, not so much.
Okay.
Yeah, because it
Yeah.
is super expensive in accommodation. You can still work around your things on like transport and food, which is fairly reasonably priced for sure. Transport is super cheap. But yeah, accommodation takes like
Hmm.
most of your income. I
Right.
would say
Yeah,
like
that's
30%.
yeah, that's so yeah, finding an affordable place is good. Do you have
Yeah.
any favorite places so far for being a remote worker?
It's really tough to point one out, but I would
Hmm.
still say um, Vietnam. I really
Oh,
loved my time
Vietnam.
there. It was really,
Nice.
yeah,
Uh,
Vietnam was
what?
really nice. I love the culture, the people. Uh, oh, the food. The food is
Hmm.
amazing. It's just great food. And I found language was definitely I was struggling a little bit with the language, but I found my way around it. So like Google Translate and then Google
Hmm.
Translate.
Yeah, Google Translate's so
So
helpful. Yeah.
yeah, and I kind of worked my way around finding the right places that can help me communicate better or operationally figure things out for me, considering I had a language barrier. But I still absolutely loved my time there. It was so nice, and yeah,
Nice.
like
What?
I did the whole country. Uh,
Nice.
it's amazing.
Nice. So you're in
Yeah.
like Ho Chi Minh, and did you go to Da Nang by any chance?
Yeah. Also
Yeah.
in the Nang. Also, I
Da
think
Nang.
like south to north and like rode around a little bit on a bike and stayed with local people, ate local food. And there were so many tribes in the north of Vietnam, like Sapa and like the smaller villages there. I think I really connect on cultures with people. And
Hmm.
I loved my time there. Like they would dress me up in their attires and like cook food for me. It was really sweet and heartwarming. Uh, Very nice
Oh,
to like just
that,
be around. It's
yeah,
great.
that's awesome. Did you
Yeah.
document the journey at all? Did you take any videos or like
A
Instagram
few of them are
pictures?
there on my iPhone. Yeah, they're on my Instagram, a few of it, some videos. So I do this episode called as Monika X Local Cultures, and all of the
Hmm.
episodes are based on very heartwarming experiences that I've had. And
Hmm.
yeah, so you can check them out on my Instagram, and yeah, let me know how you like it.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that's so cool. So, yeah, I've been to Vietnam once before just for traveling, but yeah, I agree. I
Yeah,
really enjoyed it there. Like, yeah, very
yeah.
easy to get
Cool. You've
around.
been there too. Yeah. How was it?
Yeah, it's just like crossing the street was so crazy with all the like in Ho Chi Minh City at least. It's like
Super
yeah.
crowded, was it? Uh,
Yeah, just with all the traffic because the traffic there's no traffic lights, no like
yeah.
crosswalks or anything. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so that
I'm from
was
India, so I'm pretty used to it.
oh right, yeah, India is probably similar to that too. But
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, that was sort of my first experience with the
So
heavy
nice.
tra crossing heavy traffic. So it was a experience for sure.
Cool.
But yeah, that's awesome. And do you think you're gonna be continuing the nomad life, or do you think you'll ever finish, go back to something more stable or like that, or working
I
in one
I
location?
don't think I want to.
Okay.
A lot of people actually ask me this question, but I really don't want to go back now. I've had it's like I've tasted the blood. I
Yeah,
can't really
right.
go back to it now. It's
Yeah.
difficult to not have that flexibility. And it's like I want to go to a country, I'm gonna go there for like as long as I can and
Hmm.
as much as I want because and then when I shift to a job, it kind of stops me from doing it. And I really don't want that barrier at the back of my head. Like whenever I even I'll be honest, I haven't it's crossed my mind a few times to go back and do I really want to do this? But then when I keep thinking of that barrier, I'm like, oh God, I really can't deal with that. And I don't want that, you know, uh, that unnecessary, restriction on me. And it's okay. I'm learning. I'm still working on, my work, my business, and I'm gonna figure it out. So it's like I think I've just given myself a timeline that okay, it's gonna be like 3 months. I'm gonna achieve this, and then 3 months I'm gonna do this. So it's gonna be a slow process for things,
Hmm.
and it's okay to take it slow. So I think I've mentally established that fact that it's not a good. I don't want to be super hard on myself. I really want to live mindfully because I was into an investment banking work before, and that clearly didn't have any work-life balance. Like I used to work for like 16 hours a day.
Mm.
And I think I still work 16 hours a day, 16, 17 hours a day, but I enjoy my work.
Mm.
And there's a lot of difference on that. And also I don't have restrictions on you know, location. So when I can do the same thing, um, or I can earn the same amount when I'm not in a job, then why would I want to go back?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah. So do you find the work-life balance something difficult to manage, or are you pretty good with that?
I'm getting better. It's always a learning phase. I'm definitely getting better with it. It's kind of difficult as a creator to like switch off sometimes when you're not constantly thinking, oh, this is gonna make a great video or this is gonna be a great article. I should experience this in the country or like this at a certain place because it's going to make great content.
Hmm.
And I've consciously tried to switch off that part when I come back and I'm like, okay, I need to stop and experience it for myself. So I'm learning. I'm still
Yeah.
learning to do
Right. It's a learning
uh,
experience, so for sure.
yeah. Yeah, I'm
Nice.
getting there. It's okay.
Okay. Nice. Would you say you have kind of a clear goal for where you want to head, or are you kind of improvising a lot on the way, with
I
business?
really wish I had a clear goal. And I feel like even 10 years back, I didn't have a clear goal, and I don't have it now either because I kept evolving, I kept changing. And I know what my goal is for the next 3 months, but then I'm I'm not really sure where I want to reach with this lifestyle 5 years ahead of me, but I just know that I don't want to stop.
Hmm.
And I think that's a goal, and it's okay to not define it by numbers or like, I want to earn X amount of income and I want to visit these
Hmm.
many countries and like put that pressure on myself. Because uh, I think just defining the number of countries that you visited is a very incorrect way of understanding how much a person has traveled.
Hmm.
And you can live in a country for like as long as you want. Yeah, so I don't think I have like a lot of like financial goals on like number of countries, but I've had that experience of like really struggling with work-life balance. So I think my only goal is to not stop and live mindfully. So if that's a goal, yeah, that's a goal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, living mindfully. Nice. Do you have sort of a meditative practice or anything to
Yeah,
help
I
you live
try
mindfully?
to meditate every day or like pull a workout every day. And do like uh, yeah, like the basic stuff everybody talks about, like journal. And it's I've started recently drawing, and just drawing on my iPad, and I would just sit and if I'm at a good view, I just draw it out. And I'm not a good I don't draw that well, but it's the start of something. It just makes me feel better, and I think I'm I'm trying to be more present in the moment while I'm enjoying it and not looking at everything through my camera. And I
Hmm.
have really struggled with this. Like personally, I've really struggled with I think I still am like, um watching a lot of things through my camera. And um yeah, I was rushing a lot and just like traveling too fast. It's going to be just 9 days or 10 days. And now I'm like, okay, I can stay in Singapore for 6 months and then I will see where I want to go. I will choose where I want to live. And I will see if this country has a digital nomad visa. And if it seems practical, then I might want to shift there. So it opens up boundaries of locations for me. Uh, and also gives me the flexibility of living slowly and just being present, you know.
Hmm.
Okay.
Right, right, definitely. Yeah, I guess it's also sort of a balance with that too, with like, creating all the content and then finding time to be present in the moment. I appreciate it. So,
Yeah.
yeah. All right. So, all right, awesome. So we're almost out of time. So do you have any final thoughts or advice for, anyone who might be interested starting a digital nomad life?
Mm, yeah, I think just start slow. It's okay to not jump into it, full-fledgedly, or like, it's okay to take baby steps and then go ahead and see if you really like what you're doing. Um, and don't pressurize yourself with like a lot of like numbers, or you're gonna figure it out through the way. And if you really genuinely enjoy traveling, I'm sure it's gonna work out for you. Sure.
Hmm, nice. Yeah. Do you think people should have a certain amount of money saved up before starting, or
Oh,
can they?
yes, that I really do. Yes, I think
Hmm.
that's definitely something that I did. I didn't jump into it full time, and it definitely helped me a lot on just banking upon my savings before. So it's like a safety net that you should have if something goes wrong, or
Hmm.
if you want to come back to. I know a lot, like, a lot of people who haven't done it, but I don't personally recommend it. And it's good to just have something to bank upon and to get back to if you feel like, okay, I'm kind of done, that way.
Right, right. It'll save some
I
stress
think
for sure.
a good number would be like uh, an year of income that you had, like just 1 year of income should be your savings, at least at the minimum, and
Hmm.
then you go ahead. I mean, you obviously can have more, that's better, but at least that much should be good.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Having
Yeah.
that safety net for sure. So, all right. All right. So, yeah. All right. Thank you, Monica, for coming on today.
Thank you. I loved it. It was so nice chatting with you. Lovely